Hello, everyone. There are currently no people watching live yet. So I will just give a short introduction for those watching after the recorded stream. In the last few days, I started writing on Facebook more. There's like a division between my social networks. On YouTube, I do like long form, deep discussions. On Instagram, I do like short form ideas, short videos. And on Facebook, I mainly stopped publishing stuff on Facebook. But when I do, it's like posts in Hebrew, directed at my Israeli friends, the vast majority of which are Zionists. So I do have like a network of anti-Zionist friends on Facebook that I added even years ago, but many of them in the last 600 days. Oh, I see people are joining. Okay, so welcome everyone. So I started saying that recently I've been writing more on Facebook. And when I write on Facebook, I write in Hebrew. And the audience is mostly Israeli. And this creates a situation where when I post stuff on YouTube or on Instagram, the reactions are mostly not from Zionists. Zionists don't care about my English content on YouTube or on Instagram. But when I publish stuff on Facebook, I write posts in Hebrew. And then a lot of the people that I used to call my friends, or that I used to call acquaintances, they start reacting. And in the last couple of days, I posted a few stuff, which admittedly was quite provocative, because this is like the way that I want to speak to Zionists and other forms of Nazis. At this point, I'm done having a respectable discussion with people who are supporting a death cult and a genocide. I'm done trying to have a discussion with people who cannot and will not have a discussion, whose connection with basic reality, with logic, with compassion, with empathy, has been broken completely, and who are just sick with a deep collective narcissism that makes them impossible to engage with in any honest way. And then having a discussion with them. I want to attack them. I want to insult them. So here's a few examples of stuff I wrote on Facebook in the last couple of days. It is not nice, okay? I will translate from Hebrew. So 2 days ago, I wrote. 2 days ago, I wrote. What's nice about the term Zionist becoming one of the worst curse words in the entire planet is that I can insult people here freely without them being able to file a slander lawsuit against me. And I put like the emoji at the end, like the starry-eyed emoji. Okay, I was being sarcastic and facetious. Another thing I wrote right after that is, we have reached the stage where even if you ignore completely the support of genocide and aggressive attacks on all neighboring countries, Zionists still remain one of the most sickening groups of people in the planet. And the second one was, by the way, a result of an argument I had with a Zionist that made me really, really, really upset. And I also commented on a lot of posts. I don't know. It's like I see Zionists writing all kinds of shit on Facebook, and I just can't help but commenting and letting them know, like, because it's like a bubble. They write disgusting shit, and then their Zionist friends come and write more disgusting shit, and they mock their victims, and they mock the entire planet, and they have their stupid jokes, and they have fun with each other, and they disrespect anyone else's opinion, and they have their small orgy where they have fun at the expense of everyone else, and they do it in Hebrew so that no one else knows. And I see this, and I speak Hebrew, and I see this, and it's really disgusting. And I have like this impulse where I have to ruin the party for them, because it's the most revolting party that I've ever seen in my entire life, and I don't mind being a party pooper if this means that I'm pooping on their party. Ori is saying it's not just in the online sphere. Yes, that's true. But to be honest, at this point, my like 99% of my interactions with Zionists is online. When I don't interact with Zionists in real life anymore. I mean, I can go to a store and buy a product, and I'm speaking with a Zionist, but I'm speaking about technical, pragmatic things. I'm not having a discussion with them. Anyway, because I posted these provocative things, I got a lot of bad reactions, because, okay, there's two levels to analyze this. One level is that there is the system, and the system is policing my speech using its servants, okay? Those servants being random people or people that I know. This is one level to analyze this, and I speak about this level a lot. But there's another level to analyze this, which is more relevant to the way that these people who are actually doing the policing perceive this. The way that they perceive this is that I insulted them personally. Even if I didn't speak with them personally, when I say things about Zionists, they perceive themselves as they feel a connection to Zionism, or at least they know, even if they would say, no, I'm not a Zionist, they know that I think that they are Zionists, and therefore I'm speaking about them. And because of this, they perceive what I say as a personal attack on them. And this gives them the right, not just a personal attack on them, but a completely unwarranted attack. They think, okay, in the mind of the average Zionist, either there is no genocide going on, it's all lies, or yes, some stuff is going on, but it's not a genocide, it's a war, and it's whatever is going on, it's justified because Hamas attacked us, and Iran was going to use nuclear weapons on us, and blah 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 blah. They have the propaganda and the excuses, and this means that if I think that something is wrong, and if I criticize Zionism or the Zionist project, then this is completely unwarranted, and I have lost it completely, and I'm detached from reality. And I'm stupid, and I'm naive, and I'm a liar, and I'm a hypocrite, and I'm being violent, and I'm being aggressive, blah, 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 blah. This is what they think. This is what they believe. So to them, it gives them a carte blanche to attack me. But this is not, because it's so complicated. This is so complicated. It's like, I've been on this planet for just over 38 years. And I've been inside the Zionist cult for just over 38 years. I've lived here in occupied Palestine all my life, surrounded by the cult members. So I know. Sounds like they are projecting. Yes. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Everything that the Zionist says is pure projection. This is something that is at this point, I feel like it's a natural law, but it's also like I also think that it's kind of mystical how 100% of the time everything Zionists say is actually, every accusation is an admission of guilt, every single one, 100%. This is marvelous in my opinion, not in the positive way, but it's just a marvel. You look at it and you're like, how can this be? How can 100% of your accusations be admissions of guilt? 100%, no counterexamples. It is a mathematical rule at this point. So I've been living in this cult all my life. I still am baffled by how the mind of a Zionist works. I am still baffled by it, by how extreme this behavior is, by how extreme the detachment from reality and from basic decency is, from logic, from thinking, from feeling, from empathy, from anything. I'm still baffled by it. But as baffled as I am by it, I feel like I know how it works. I know the mechanisms. In one of the discussions, I'll read to you a discussion that I had. Okay, just so you get some. I was thinking of starting a series where I just show you some stuff on Facebook, stuff that people are writing on Facebook, and the kind of discussions that I have on Facebook. So here it is. So one of my friends, no longer a friend, posted this post. So this post is this is a map, a supposed map of Egypt and Sinai and Palestine, so-called Israel. Okay, but this map was probably AI generated, and it's full of mistakes. Okay, it's full of silly mistakes. It was posted by one of the participants, one of the thousands of the participants in the march towards Gaza from Egypt. Okay, and the person who posted this says, "This is the map of the march to Gaza, which was organized in Egypt to break the." He emphasizes, I don't know why he emphasizes, to break the siege of Israel on Gaza. Oh, I see what he's saying. He's saying, like, implicitly, no, it's actually Egypt that's putting a siege on Gaza. It's not Israel, it's Egypt. Go speak with Egypt, you fucking Palestinians. Go to Egypt if you want, like that. Okay, which was published by Name, who identifies on Twitter as a news reporter and a television producer from South Africa. Help us, children, to find the errors in the map. And then it's like a reference to like this thing that has been going on for decades on Israeli newspapers, where you solve like puzzles and then you get a prize. Okay, so blah 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 blah. And then the comments are just a bunch of people. The comments are just a bunch of people. I will scroll through it. I will show you. The comments are just a bunch of people. So as you see, 142 likes, and the comments are just a bunch of people having a laugh. You see all the laughing emojis having a laugh. They have all kinds of jokes. They have all kinds of jokes about how silly this map is, and this proves, in their opinion, that those who say between the river and the sea don't even know which river and which sea. Ha 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 ha. Those people are so stupid. Oh, they are against what's going on in Gaza. They're so stupid. They're so naive. They're self-defeating. They don't understand anything. They don't live here. Blah, 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 blah. But that's just actually false in the chat. But that's just actually false. Gaza's border with Egypt is controlled by Israel. I know. Like I don't want to even give their arguments the time of day. I'm just venting here. Okay. I'm telling you what's happening here. I got really upset after an argument with the Zionist. I feel horrible. I feel shitty. I will tell you how and why I feel shitty. And I know that what helps me, or something that helps me, is to go online and to vent about it, and because both it helps me feel less lonely. It helps me when I get support from people who are not Zionists and are not absolutely insane. This helps me feel less lonely and it helps assuage the guilt. I still feel guilt. I will talk about this later. I still feel guilt whenever I argue with Zionists. I still feel guilt because they have a way of turning everything on you and saying that you are the problem, even though they are actively supporting a genocide where over 60,000 people and probably like 150,000 people and maybe more than that were murdered in the last 600 days. Hundreds of thousands of people murdered, and still I'm the problem. Guilty of what? Guilty of being impolite to them. Guilty of not being fair to them. Guilty of not being empathetic and kind enough to them, while they are justifying the murder of my friends. Vent all you need. Thank you. Thank you. Because it's maddening. It's maddening. It's maddening. I still feel the guilt. This is how cults work. Whenever you go against the cult, the servants of the cult will turn everything on you and make you and tell you that you are the problem, and you will believe them. You know why? Because the virus is still inside my brain. I do not know how to take this virus outside of my brain, outside of my heart, outside of my soul, outside of my psyche, outside of my existence. My existence is controlled still by the Zionist cult. Still. So much that I object to genocide, and the people committing the genocide and supporting the genocide make me feel like I'm the problem because I'm not nice enough to them. So they're having a bunch of laughs in this post shared by a person who I used to consider a friend, mocking the people, objecting to their genocide, doing actual political action against their genocide. Thousands of people from all around the world. Finally, someone cares. Finally, someone is doing something. They are facing police violence. Thousands of people are now facing police violence from the Egyptian police, who's supposed to be on the Palestinian side. Of course they're not. It's a puppet government controlled by the fucking US. How can you not see this? And now the police serving the puppet government installed by the US, defending the colony, the other colony of the US called Israel, is now violently repressing the march to Gaza that's meant to stop the genocide that is being committed by Israel for over 600 days, in which like 150 to 200,000 people were murdered. And they are laughing at them. They are mocking them. They're telling their stupid fucking jokes. And you know what? The jokes aren't even funny. You know that episode of Seinfeld where in the episode of Seinfeld, he goes to his dentist, and his dentist is portrayed, by the way, by Bryan Cranston, who would go on to play both the dad, Hal, in Malcolm in the Middle, and then Heisenberg, Walter White, on Breaking Bad. And he finds out that his dentist converted to Judaism. So he goes to the dentist, and the dentist starts telling jokes. And the jokes are Jewish jokes, okay? And then he gets upset by it. He tries to argue with the dentist, and it doesn't work. So he goes to a church, and he goes to confession, and he speaks. Anti-dentite, yes, anti-dentite episode. So he goes to the minister for confession, And the minister, I think this is the church where the Dr. Watley, right? I don't remember, where the dentist used to go. And he talks to him about that guy, and he says, this guy, I think he converted to Judaism just for the joke, just for the jokes. And the minister asks him, so this offends you as a Jew? And he says, no, it offends me as a comedian. And this is it. Like, of course I'm offended by their stupid jokes as someone who cares about violence, murder, and oppression. But I'm also offended as a comedian. Their jokes suck. They suck ass. Anyway, so I saw this orgy of mockery on the people, about the people who are resisting the genocide that they are supporting and participating in. And I wrote this. By the way, I went to look at that reporter that they made, you know. She is a reporter and she's so mistaken about this. So imagine the average person. Like, this is the way that they present it. This so-called reporter has 3,000 followers on Instagram. If she is a reporter, then I'm a reporter, okay? Because I have 7,000 followers on Instagram and I have 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. By the way, I'm 30 subscribers away from 5,000. If you want a Q&A, subscribe to the channel, okay? Hit that like button, smash that like button, subscribe, share, blah, 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 that. I will do a Q&A at 5,000. So if she is a reporter, I'm a reporter, okay? And I'm no reporter, okay? I'm just a guy. So I said, okay, cool. So there's some stupid reporter in the world. But in reality, there is a real march with thousands of people that's about to reach Rafah with the goal to protest against the genocide that has been going on in Gaza for 600 days, in which at least tens of thousands of people were murdered, and I said in parentheses, probably hundreds of thousands of people, and that is being committed in the name of all the commenters here who are laughing about it, and in parentheses, and about most of them also with their support and even with their participation. Do you have anything to say about that, or do you find that less important? This is what I wrote. First comment that I didn't get a reply from the guy who I thought was my friend, by the way. First comment: do you have a source for the numbers that you wrote? Do you have a source for the numbers? Do you have a source? Do you have a source? Do you have a source? Fuck you! That's my fucking source! Fuck you! Fucking Nazi Holocaust denier! Fuck you! Fuck you! That's what I wanted to tell him. That's what I wanted to tell him, but I stopped myself because I need to be polite, because otherwise I'm the aggressor. Because if I tell him, fuck you, you Nazi Holocaust denier, he will file a lawsuit against me. There is a lawsuit against me because I didn't control myself at some point in November or December of 2023. I didn't control myself. And I said something direct to someone, and now there is a lawsuit against me, and I don't know what is going to happen with it. And it's been bothering me for over a year now. So I didn't say that to him. What I told him is, there you go, and I linked to the Lancet article about the Gaza death toll that gave an estimate of up to 150,000 murdered back in June of 2024, 1 year ago. Do you have a source? Fucking Google it, you fucking idiot! You live here! Do you support it? You support it? Fucking Google it! Spend 1 minute of your time to fucking Google it! Tamar, My dear girlfriend is saying it wasn't about controlling yourself. The comment was just factually true. You just had no way of knowing someone would sue over nothing. Yes, thank you, Tamar. Tamar is well aware of the details of this lawsuit, as you can imagine. Next comment. No Gazan was murdered. At worst, killed. It's a war. It happens. This is the comment. No Gazan was murdered. At worst, killed. It's a war. It happens. And you know the weird thing? I feel like a need to explain why it's so horrible. But all of you know, everyone watching immediately knows. Immediately feels like in their gut the disgust on this over this comment. It's a war. It happens. They weren't murdered. They were killed. It's a war. It happens. You all understand how disgusting this is. You understand at least as well as I do. Someone is saying, bro, they are trolling you. They know it's false in their deepest part of their soul. I don't know anymore. Bro, I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. This is what's so awful about it. You see people saying the most despicable shit and you don't know. They're saying it seriously. In the conscious part of their minds, they know, they don't think that they are in the wrong. They think they are absolutely right. They don't consider themselves trolls. Some have lost their souls. Is there a soul left there? Is there something to talk to there? Is there a consciousness to converse with inside that physical body? I do not know anymore. In the deepest parts of my soul, I still believe. In the deepest parts of my soul, I still believe that in the deepest parts of their soul, they know. I still believe that everyone I meet around me is good, is fundamentally good inside. I still believe that, and I will never stop believing it. Never, ever, ever will I stop believing it. But let me tell you this. The empirical evidence that I have been collecting for just over 38 years on this planet does not support this hypothesis. They are not making it easy for me to believe that they are fundamentally good inside. They are doing whatever is possible to prevent me from believing that they are fundamentally good inside. Give them a quote from Marek Edelman or Gabor Mate. No. Please, Philip, you do not understand. I'm sorry, you do not understand. You do not understand the depth of the corruption. It's like, it's worse than talking to a wall. Because at least when you're talking to a wall, you know that nothing good will come out of it. But when you talk to a person whose soul was so deeply corrupted, still something inside you wants to believe, still something inside you believes that there is a way, to talk to them, but no, there isn't. So he says this shit. So I say, because this guy, in his profile picture, he has the Ukrainian flag. Because he was like, yeah, I'm for Ukraine. I'm such a good person. I'm a good person. I put the Ukrainian flag on my profile
I'm such a good person. I'm for justice. I'm against war. I'm for humanity.
So I say to him, so I understand that according to you, also in Ukraine, no one was murdered. Also in the Jewish Holocaust, the Nazis didn't murder any Jew. And also in the 7th of October, no Israeli was murdered. At worst, they were killed. It's a war. It happens. This is what I wrote to him. And here is what he wrote to me. In Ukraine and in the Holocaust and on the 7th of October, they murdered citizens, civilians, on purpose. The war was only to murder. In Gaza, it isn't. But if you do not have a basic moral instinct, then I'm not sure that I have any need to talk to you. And then he adds another comment. By the way, on the 7th of October, they started the war. The results of the war are on those who started it. They are at fault. Again, I don't need to explain to you why this is bullshit. But when you are inside the Zionist cult, it's not only you must explain why such horrible things being said are horrible, but no matter how much you explain, it will not help. No matter how much and in what way you explain, it will not work. Because you're a minority. Because you're going against the norms. And now you are the crazy one, and you are the violent one, and you are the unreasonable one, and you are the aggressive one. Because you're on your own, going against the system, going against the norms. It's exactly the way that I feel when I try to explain to carnists why murdering cows and chickens and pigs and sheep and goats and ducks and other non-human animals is wrong. You know how many hours of my life I spent on explaining why murder is wrong? Thousands? Tens of thousands of hours of my life were spent. You know, they say when you want to become an expert in something, spend 10,000 hours on it. I think I spent like 30,000 hours on explaining why murder is wrong. I am a world expert in explaining why murder is wrong. Unfortunately, my actions are not as fruitful as I would have hoped. I thought that murder was just assumed to be wrong. You know, the Ten Commandments the Jews love so much. Sixth commandment, thou shalt not kill. This is what they believe, that God himself spoke to Moses and told to Moses, thou shalt not kill. With the divine revelation. That's what they believe. That's what they claim to believe. I don't believe that. I don't. But I try not to kill. I believe that murder is wrong. I believe that killing is wrong. I still believe that even though God didn't tell me, even though I don't believe that God exists, and even though I don't believe that God ever said, thou shalt not kill, I still manage to believe wholeheartedly and completely, without any caveats, without any asterisks, that killing is wrong, period. that you should never murder, that you should do whatever you can to not participate in any act of murder. They do not. But still, here, look at this. If you don't have a basic moral instinct, I'm not sure I have any need to talk to you. I'm the one without any basic moral instinct. The guy just defended mass murder of tens of thousands and perhaps hundreds of thousands of people. We don't know. We don't fucking know. By the way, I spent like an hour earlier today trying to find the most recent and accurate estimations of how many people were murdered in Gaza. I had a conversation with Gemini, the AI engine. The data is very, very, very weak. We don't know. The true dimensions of this genocide will only be known maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now, maybe 30 years from now. And my horrible guess is that it will be much, much worse than anyone imagines now. That the numbers will be comparable to those of the Jewish Holocaust. In the Jewish Holocaust, 6 million people were murdered, including my grandfather's entire family. It is horrible to say, but I think it's true that the number of murdered people in Gaza in this genocide will be over 500,000 when everything is said and done. I think it will be over 500,000. I think that we will have to say the word million when we describe the number of victims of this Holocaust. I think that the word million will be the one that we have to say. 500,000. Just under 1 million. This is the kind of thing that we will have to say. A quarter of the population, a third of the population, like the Jewish Holocaust. The Jewish Holocaust was 1/3 of the Jewish population in the entire planet. There were 18 million Jews before the Holocaust, 12 million Jews after. 6 million murdered. And this guy is defending it. This guy is saying, it happens. And then he has the nerve to tell me that I have lost my basic moral instinct. This is how they get you. And I must tell you honestly, I read these words and part of me believed them. The virus is still inside me. I will never get rid of this virus completely. The disease called Zionism is uncurable. I will always be sick until I die with this disease called Zionism. And one of the symptoms of this disease is that when this guy defending mass murder, maybe participating in mass murder, maybe he did, reserve duty. One of the symptoms of this disease is that when this guy told me, you have lost your basic moral instinct, a small part of me shouted, yes, you did! Inside me, a voice inside me shouted, yes, you did! Shut the fuck up! Why are you talking against this? You have lost your basic moral instinct! Cooperate! This is the voice. And it's inside me. And I have to resist it. I have to resist it to resist Zionism because it's part of the system. The voice inside me is part of the system. And I have to tell myself, this voice is part of the system. This voice is part of the system. This voice is part of the system. Send him a picture of Hind Rijab. Philip, you do not understand, okay? Okay? Let's have a short conversation, okay? Philip, you do not understand. I put up pictures of Palestinian children who were murdered by the bombings of Israeli airplanes. Many of them. At some point, I think it was December, I spent an entire day or 2 days just putting more and more pictures of Palestinian children who were murdered. Tamar is saying he'll put a laughing emoji or deny it. Exactly. Because Tamar was there, she also put pictures of Palestinian children who were murdered. Or say blame Hamas. Yes, we know how they react. They mock, they deny, and they remove responsibility. And then they blame you for being the problematic one. They do not care, Philip. Philip, please, you are being naive about these people. Yes, I still believe that deep down they are fundamentally good people. But we must acknowledge how deeply corrupted their soul is. We must acknowledge this. Wow, I don't understand their humor. It's not humor. It's not humor. It's not. It's not. It's narcissism. It's yes, sadism. It's a deep mental disease, collective mental disease being reinforced by everyone around them. Even if they want to be healed, it's really, really hard, as I explained to you. It's really, really difficult. So I told this guy, I think you are confused. Between the two of us, it is not I who is justifying mass murder, but you. I oppose any murder of any living animal on this planet, no matter who commits it. Those who are justifying murder are the ones who lost their basic moral instinct, and no matter what kind of justifications they give. And here is what he answered me. You are not against murder. You are against objecting to murder. It's not the same thing. It's actually the opposite. This is what he believes. Look at the level of detachment from reality. Look at the level of detachment from reality. This guy, you can just read what he wrote and see that he justified murder. It's just what he did. I never said anything for murder. Everything that I said was against murder. And still, in his twisted mind, I am the one justifying murder and he is the one objecting to murder. It will waste your energy and dull your light fighting with someone who is all in on Zionism. You must guard your heart. I appreciate this advice. I appreciate it. I truly appreciate it. And it's a voice that I try to, express to myself whenever I get into these, altercations. But there are other things going on here. When they have an orgy where they mock the resistance to the genocide that they support, and they experience zero pushback on it, something bad is going on in the world. And I want, something inside me wants them to experience the pushback. The guy who shared this post is a guy that I know personally. It's a guy that I used to like. It's a guy, by the way, who, when I wrote back in October, November, and December of 2023 in Hebrew, then I stopped writing in Hebrew for exactly that reason that you said, that it was fruitless and maximally frustrating. So back then, I called it a genocide again and again and again and again, and he argued with me, and a lot of people argued with me. They said it wasn't a genocide. So at some point, I wrote a post on Facebook and I asked, if I convince you that this is a genocide, will you object to it? I said, I'm considering writing a detailed post about why it's a genocide. If you are convinced that this is a genocide, will you object to it? And he came to the post and he commented, replied to the post from his own volition. He said, yes, I will. Because he perceives himself as a good person. He doesn't perceive himself as someone who supports genocide. He is against genocide. It's just that what's going on in Gaza is not a genocide. So we can still feel like a good person. I didn't end up writing this post because I felt like it was useless. And here is proof that it was useless. At this point, if this guy was not convinced that this is a genocide, at this point, then he will never be convinced that it's a genocide. He will never be convinced. He said, if I'm convinced that it is a genocide, I will be against it. But you know why he felt so comfortable saying it? Because he knew that he would never have to admit that it's a genocide. So he would never have to object to it. So afterwards, or during that, some people commented on the post that I put on Facebook. Very provocative posts. By the way, why am I being provocative? For many reasons, and one of the reasons that I'm being provocative is that if you're not provocative against Nazis of all kind, if you're not provocative against Zionists, if you're not provocative against Carnists, if you're not provocative against people doing the Holocaust and repressing the fact that they are doing the Holocaust, then they will just ignore you. This is the main tactic that they have, is ignoring you. That's the main tactic. Leaving you shouting in a void. And there's and really the feeling of shouting in a void is a horrible, lonely, desperate, frustrating feeling. And you know, this is the feeling that I had for many years, because until October 7th, the vast majority of people on earth didn't give a shit about what was going on in Palestine. They didn't give a shit about it. Most of them didn't know where Israel was or what Palestine was. They didn't give a shit about it. And I've been calling myself an anti-Zionist for over 3 years now. And I've been objecting to the oppression of the Palestinians to some extent for, let's say, 15, 20 years now, ever since I was politically aware to any extent. Even though I wasn't politically aware enough until too recently, okay? It's a process, as I said, it's a process of deprogramming yourself from the lies, from the propaganda, from the indoctrination. And no matter how independent your thinking is, no matter how stubborn you are, no matter how principled you are, still it will penetrate your soul. It will penetrate your mind. Barbara is saying, please care for yourself. We need you. Thank you, Barbara. This is what I'm doing right now. This is what I'm doing right now. I was super duper upset like an hour ago. And because I was personally hurt by a friend that I had a discussion with, everything is in quotation marks, and I was super, super, super upset. And then I was like, I told Tamar, maybe I should just go live and vent and like tell people from this place of being super upset. So this is my self-care. This is the way that I feel less lonely. And I was telling you that until 600 and whatever 10 days ago, most people in the world didn't give a shit about Palestine. And that meant that whenever I spoke about Palestine, it was one of two options. One option, write something that is serious, that is respectful, that is, that explains what's going on in a way that is matter of fact, and then have them completely ignore you and feel like you're shouting into a void, or write something provocative, write something disgusting, and then the reaction would be, why are you being so provocative? You're so impolite. You think you're better than me? You're so conceited. You are condescending. You think you're so pure. You're giving us purity test. What moralistic attitude? Blah 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 blah. You're so offensive. You're impolite. You're aggressive. Why are you being so violent? 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 Zionists in a nutshell. Carnists in a nutshell. Nazis in a nutshell. Gaslighting is exhausting, yes. Gaslighting is exhausting. And gaslighting is the basic experience of anyone who lives in a cult and who goes against the cult. And this is true for the cult of Zionism, this is true for the cult of capitalism, this is true for the cult of liberalism, this is true for the cult of carnism. This is true for any single cult. When you go against the cult, you will be gaslit to infinity. And this is something that I experienced so fucking much. I was raised in a cult, I get it. Yeah, you know. And I'm glad that we have this weird way of connecting with each other. Survivor of all the cults in the world. Survivors of cults unite. So until 7th of October, no one gave a shit about Palestine, and I felt completely lonely because also, the cult separates you from Palestinians living an hour away from you. It creates an invisible wall. I cannot explain it. I cannot explain it. There is an invisible wall. It was so hard to communicate with Palestinians as well. So I felt completely lonely. No one understood what was going on here, and those who were living here were gaslighting me for every single moment of my existence when I went against what was going on. I'm going to choose my words very, very carefully here. But here is a fact. Following the October 7th attack, people around the world started being more and more and more aware of what was going on in Palestine. And at this point, no matter what your opinion about what is going on in Palestine is, a lot of people, I would say the majority of people, know that there's something in Palestine and know what's going on in Palestine to some extent. And a bunch of people, I would say many millions of people, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people, know exactly what's going on in Palestine. And now, because of this, I feel less lonely. No way for the regime to get me now for what I said, right? They will get me if they want to. When they want to, and if they want to, they will. It's like Mormons. It's a nice bubble to be in until it isn't. If you play along, no problem. Now the Israelis are playing along, and they're not having a really good time, are they? But never mind. As long as you play along, everything is fine and dandy. The moment you step out of line, even in a very slight way, suddenly you will get the policing, you will get the backlash, you will get the aggression. Most people don't lie deliberately, but just repeat lies without thinking. Exactly. This is how the lies are propagated. This is how propaganda works. You seem too real, man. I hope you are okay. Your heart is too good for the place you were born. Thank you for the kind words and for the compliment and for the support. I want to say that I don't think anywhere is really good within humanity at this point. All of humanity is pretty fucked up. Yeah, this is like an epicenter of the fucked upness. Palestine is an epicenter of the fucked upness. But I think everywhere is fucked up in its own unique and special way. And also in its regular way. So, why did I start this live stream? Because I finally had it after I had a discussion with a friend who I met in activism for non-human animals, for the liberation of non-human animals from the Holocaust that was and still is imposed on them, the worst Holocaust in the history of everything. Tamar, you want to say hello to our viewers?
Yeah.
No, Tamar is a little shy right now. She brought me a nice cold drink to calm me down. She's amazing. This is the cat cup. The cat has a little red bow tie. So nice. If only this were the only thing that people did. If only people did just this kind of thing. Drew a nice cat, a nice black cat with whiskers and a small red bow tie. You know what's so sad? That deep down I love people. People can be so beautiful, they can be so good, they can be so kind. They can create art, they can create science, they are curious. Tamar seems genuinely very caring. She is. People can be so good. Every single one of them. Every single person can be so good. They can be so beautiful. When they are born, children are so good. You see them dancing and laughing, and they're so good. Yeah, they can be annoying. They can, cry or whatever. They can be so good. When I listen to music, I'm like, wow, so fucking beautiful, so fucking beautiful. When I see a painting, so beautiful. When I laugh with someone, I love people. I love people. I love everyone, and I also love people. But because humanity is so fucked up, my love for people makes me angry at them. I wrote, why I despise Zionists. Why do I despise Zionists? Because they will not allow me to love them. Because I want to love them, but they are so fucked up, they have been so fucked up that I can't, that I need to be angry at them, that I need to laugh at them, that I need to tell them horrible things about what they're doing because they're doing horrible things. Because otherwise I'm a liar and an accomplice. Because my choice is 1, tell them horrible things, or 2, be an accomplice to their horrible crimes. And if being a part of the party means being an accomplice to a Holocaust, then I will choose to be a party pooper 100 times out of 100. I will not participate in your orgy of murder. I will not. You can be as nasty towards me as you want. I will not participate in your orgy of murder. I refuse. So what happened was that I had a discussion with this friend. I will not tell you the details of the discussion. They're not important because I had this experience thousands of times. I had this experience thousands of times. They get upset, they start insulting you, you start saying, like nasty things back. I tried not to insult him, but it's hard. And then at some point I was like, okay, this escalated. I don't want this. I like this guy. I think he's a good person. I think he's misguided, but I think he's a good person. I will speak from the heart. I will not mince my words. I will speak directly. I will speak honestly. I will not, coddle him. I will not placate him. I will not be an enabler. I will not be an accomplice, but I will speak from the heart in a vulnerable way. And I spent an hour and a half yesterday writing a comment back to him on Facebook. I spent an hour and a half speaking from the heart and telling him what I thought in the most kind way that I knew how. And then he wrote back and he called me all kinds of nasty names, and he was speaking from his ego, and he was denying that he was a Zionist, even though he is clearly a Zionist, and he was saying that I'm a thought police, and he was saying that I'm a fascist, and he was saying that I'm a liar and a hypocrite and a whatever. And he was not really engaging with anything that I said to him from the heart. And I became so fucking upset. And I was speaking with Tamar, who was aware of all of this thing. And I told her, look at this, look at what I get for being vulnerable. I put myself in a vulnerable position, and what do? They use it. They use it to hurt me. And then when I'm not vulnerable, they say, you are being condescending, you are being aggressive, whatever. Audio is very staticky. Is this true? I can lower the volume. I can do it. I'll lower the volume of the microphone. Maybe this will help. Is it better now? Did this improve things? Okay, let's hope. Did he know you spent an hour and a half? I think that my comments, it was really clear that I did my best. So I told Tamar, look at this. I was being vulnerable, and this gave him an opportunity to hurt me. And it's just because he's a Zionist. It's just because of that. How is your relationship with your family? Not good. Not good. Yeah, I need to tell you about some stuff that happened with my family. Tamar and I will do an episode, a live stream, where we talk about experiences of silencing with the cult, okay? And then I kind of lost it when I thought, well, here is a fact. There are like 10,000 people in Israel, probably 10,000, like anywhere between 5,000 and 10,000, maybe more, who hate my guts, who truly believe that I'm insane or violent or aggressive, or that I hurt them personally, or that I'm problematic, or that I lost it, or that I went off the deep end, or whatever, just because I didn't play along with the Zionist cult and with the ongoing genocide, just because I resisted as much as I could the ongoing genocide and the cult that is creating it, called the cult of Zionism. Probably, as we speak right now, there are people who used to be my friends or acquaintances, people I liked and liked me back, who are having conversations about how I lost it and what shitty person I am. This is just a fact. This is just, they won't tell me this, okay? But it's what's going on. This is the price that I need to pay. It's not as big a price as Palestinians pay for going against this regime. It's definitely not even close to the price people in Gaza are paying, okay? But it still sucks ass. It's still horrible. It's still completely isolating. It still feels shitty. I feel shitty all the time. And it's impossible to not feel shitty about it. And what what came out of me in this moment of realization and rage was, yeah, it's good that the Nazis hate me, it's good.
the more Nazis hate me, the better person I am. This is just pure logic, right? If Nazis hate you, then this says something good about you. So I don't care that the Nazis hate me. Let them hate me. Let them hate me. Let them hate me. But part of me still wants them to like me.
Your own family denounced you, so you have no protection. That's not true. My family did not denounce me. I had arguments with my family. My father is very, very devoted to me. This I can tell you for sure. My father also knows deep down that I am absolutely right. He might say all kinds of crazy stuff now and again, but he knows that I'm absolutely right. How do you deal with the loneliness of having very different views from your family? I don't know. I don't know. I just deal with it. I just find a way. Okay, guys. This helped me. This venting session helped me. I hope it helped you. It helped you as well to understand how things look when you are resisting the Zionist cult from inside, what kind of emotions it stirs in you, what kind of situations it creates, how difficult it is, what the difficulties are of going against the Zionist cult. And yeah, it helped me to feel less lonely. It helped me to feel more sane, just to read you writing, yes, you are right, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Because when you are surrounded, when you are constantly surrounded by people who tell you that you are wrong and a problem, then part of you starts believing them, no matter how much you are an independent thinker. No matter how much you are an independent thinker, you will start believing them. So it's really helping that people here are saying, no, you are not the problem. The Zionists are the problem. It's really, really helping. So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for this. Thank you, everyone, for I'm Palestinian and I've never had a conversation with an Israeli person. You can send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is @robleviajero. I wrote it down here. If you want to send me a message on Instagram, we can have a conversation. And I hope that that I'm the only Israeli person you ever have to speak with, or one of the only Israeli people you ever have to speak with, because the other ones are not so hot. So thank you, everyone, for helping me feel less lonely, for helping me feel more sane, for helping me take all these horrible feelings out and process them together with you. This was very helpful. Again, I hope this helped shed some light on how the cult works. Probably Elik and I will have another live stream in the next couple of days to continue our conversation that was cut short by the alarm yesterday, where we spoke about our feelings around the recent war that broke out between Israel and Iran. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We are close to 5K. When we get to 5,000 subscribers, as I promised, I will do a Q&A session where I answer all your questions, or at least some of your questions, as many as I am able to do it. Please share my videos with people who you think would be interested in this, so that we can increase the exposure of this channel. This helps me. If you want to help me, you can donate on Patreon. I will put the Patreon link. 1 second, I will find it and I will put it in the chat. So, the Patreon is the Hebrew Canaanite. Here it is on the chat. If you donate on Patreon, this helps me make this my full-time job. I'm not yet there, but I hope to get there soon and make resisting oppression and exposing the way that systems of oppression work and thinking about what is the correct way to move forward towards a revolution and towards liberation of all living beings on Earth. This is the only important thing right now, in my opinion. So I want to do that full time. If you want to help me do that full time, you can donate on Patreon, and this will get me closer to this goal. Thank you so much. I feel better. Okay, I feel better. So thanks so much. And bye-bye, everyone. And see you soon.